It's that time again as Monarch Radio brings you back to those golden days before television, when radio was the main source of family entertainment in the home. Stay tuned for another one of those drama or comedy episodes from way back when, as performed by the Monarch Old Time Radio players.
Fibber McGee and Molly became one of America's top comedy shows in the 1940s. It starred Jim and Marion Jordan, a real-life married couple working in radio since the 1920s, playing the role of a middle America husband and wife. Their community included a host of characters played by famous actors such as Harold Perry, Gail Gordon, and Bill Thompson, who played multiple roles on the same broadcast. A typical airing featured 5 to 8 other actors beside the Jordans in the 30-minute episodes. Much of the show's humor relied on running gags with retold punchlines that sometimes popped up here and there for years. One of those featured McGee's closet, which was always errantly opened and resulted in falling bric-a-brac clattering down in a horrendous clamor, with McGee saying, "I gotta get that closet cleaned out one of these days." Each episode also featured an appearance by announcer Harlow Wilcox, whose job it was to weave in an ad for the sponsor into the plot without having to break the show for a real commercial. Fibber usually met Wilcox's sales pitch with groans or humorously sarcastic lines. Their standalone series ran from 1935 to 1956 and was also adapted into a string of movies. This morning, Monarch Radio is pleased to present its recreation of a Fibber, McGee, and Molly episode, The Census Enumerator, which aired on April 4th, 1950. The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. 140,000 men and women started work last week on Operation Nose Count, the 1950 census. 139,999 of these people are intelligent, courteous, and considerate. Here's another one, Census Enumerator McGee of Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
I got a feeling I'm going to love this job, Molly. Imagine getting paid good money just for asking personal questions. Boy, oh boy, will I get nosy.
And boy, you're just a boy who can do it, too.
Betcha. And this time, I got the government on back of me. Fibber McGee, government official. Hey, I wish I had me a badge to wear.
A badge? Well, Uncle Dennis has one upstairs in his drawer.
Swell. I'll get it. What's it say?
Chicken inspector. He got it at the Legion Convention, at the poultry exhibit. He said, although I don't know the...
That's okay, kiddo. Never mind. I got authority without a badge. Let me run through the procedure here for a minute before I start out again. First of all, I'll ring the doorbell, see? And when somebody answers, I say, "Good morning, madame."
What if a man answers?
Hang up. Oh, you mean if a man answers the door? Well, in that case, I simply say, "Good morning, bud." I say, "I represent the United States censor for this block, and..."
Oh, no, dearie. No, not the censor, the census.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Well, the census asks people what they do. The censor says they mustn't do it.
Oh, well, anyhow, this is going to be quite an experience. Let me see now. I got me book of instructions, the Enumerator's reference manual, me fountain pen, blank forms, me ID cards.
Say, I've heard of those ID cards. What does it stand for anyway? Doctor of Enumeration?
No, nothing like that, Tootsie. This is just me identification. When you don't want to stand out on a drafty porch asking questions, you flash the ID card to get indoors. Catch on?
Isn't that simple? I think the census is a wonderful idea because heavenly days, is that the questionnaire you fill out?
Yep.
Look at the size of that thing. It looks like Barnum and Bailey's main tent.
Yeah. And I'm going to have a circus with it, too. I may switch the questions around a little, of course, when I get the hang of it. Liable to sound pretty dull asking the same questions all day long.
Oh, you can handle it, dearie. You've had experience.
Asking questions?
Sounding dull. Say, speaking of Uncle Dennis again, he'd be wonderful at this job. He starts every day of his life with the same question.
Yeah? What's his question?
Where am I? You know, that's about the only question they don't have on these blanks here.
Oh, they got it. Right here. Question 15. What were you doing last week? Working? Keeping house? Or something else?
What else is there? Heavenly days, a busy housewife.
Look, Tootsie, don't you start giving me trouble before I even ring me first doorbell. Come on, let's get started. I want to gather up those vital statistics.
You mean vital, dearie?
No, vittles. I'm going to ask what they had for lunch and if there's any left. Because by the time I ring a few doorbells, I'll be hungry enough to...
Hold it, G-Man. Company.
Well, don't let them delay us, whoever it is. Hand me them questionnaires and stuff so it looks like we're leaving. Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Oldtimer. Come in.
Hello there, daughter. Hi. Oh, put that racing form away, Johnny. Save your rent money, son. You can't beat the ponies.
No, this ain't the racing.
Don't let that boy gamble, daughter. Bad for the character. My papa used to bet the horses when I was just a little kid. Ruined his life completely.
Well, that's too bad, but...
Yep. Papa hung around the stable so much he developed a hamstring fetlock and a bad case of heaves. Took to having his shoes custom made at the blacksmith shop. I can hear him now whinnying as he galloped up the front steps. It was 6 furlongs to the drugstore, and Papa...
Yeah. Look, that's all very fascinating, but I got work to do. We gotta go.
Well, I don't want to hold you kids up. Take a lesson, though, from Papa. He's got a tip from a jockey friend, mortgaged Mama's sewing machine, and bet every dime we had on the horse named Glue Boy.
Glue Boy. Sounds like a sticky proposition.
Glue Boy put everything he had into that run, kids. He was the first cross the finish line in the last race of the day.
Good.
Papa lost everything.
Lost? You said the horse came in first in the last race.
Yep, but he started out in the first race. Never trust a horse, Johnny. He'll make a jackass out of you every time.
Well, I'm sure there must be a fine moral in there somewhere, Oldtimer. But these papers have nothing to do with racing forms. They're questionnaires.
Yep. I just been appointed censor takers for this district.
Census taker, dearie.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yep. It's just a subordinate job now, of course. But the next census they take, I may get appointed head.
Johnny, I got news for you. You got one now.
Look, if I were you, boy, I wouldn't get too flip with a government official. I'm with the government, you know.
Oh, that's okay. I'm a government man myself. You see that safety pin in the back of my pants?
Heavenly days, what's that for?
Wind control, daughter. I tore 'em.
Yeah? How?
Coming downstairs, Johnny. I fell over a banister.
You mean a banister?
This was in the courthouse, daughter. A lawyer got in my way. Well, come on, kids. I'll drive you downtown if your car's out front.
Thanks, but we're walking.
Yep. Let's get going. We've been waiting long enough for people to come to their senses. Now we got to take the senses to the people.
That's pretty good, Johnny. There ain't, but that's not the way I hear it.
Oh, pshaw.
The way I hear it, one fellow says to the other fellow, when he heard McGee was taking the census, See, he says, why is the Wistful Vista census like riding on a big rocket ship? Simple, says the other fella, because they both start out with a big jerk. So long, kids.
All right, Mrs. Mulks. Well, I guess I got all the information I need about you. Now for the rest of your family. Who else lives at this address?
Just myself and Boswell. That's all.
Let me put that down, sis. Bozwel.
That's Mr. Moltz, is it?
Oh, gracious, no. Boswell is only 4 years old.
Boswell Mulks, age 4. Your son, sis?
Well, no, he's adopted.
How nice. What nationality is he?
Well, his papers didn't exactly say, but by the shape of his tail and his long droopy ears, well, we think he's a beagle.
Beagle?
Yes, here he is now. Boswell, meet all the nice people.
Oh, Come on, Molly. Thanks, sis.
My, this is very interesting work, isn't it? How many names have we got now?
Let me check. Well, counting the 4 people that weren't home, and the lady that was taking a bath and hollered out the window at us, and the guy that was holding his thumb in the leaking water pipe and said, "Come back tomorrow," and the place with the measles sign on the door, I got just one, Mrs. Mulks. Well, here we go again. Good morning, sir. I am the U.S. Census Takers.
Census taker.
Yeah, and, hiya, Ole.
Oh, hi, McGee. Hello, Mrs. What's your kind of toker?
The United States Census, Ole. The government needs a lot of information about population and housing and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. I've been waiting for the census toker. I think McGee is a good man to ask questions. Everybody say so.
They do, Ole? What'd they say?
They say McGee is a questionable character. Well, go ahead, census toker. Ask questions.
Your name we have, and address. Born?
Sure. Not lately, though. Was a long time ago.
Who's the head of this household?
Wait till I close the door. I am.
Where were you born, Ole?
Davenport?
Iowa?
No. Stockholm. Mama didn't have time to get to the hospital. I was born on Davenport.
How many people live at this address?
Well, if you call it living, there's me and my missus and the kids, Christina, Lars, Sven, little Oli, Yasmin, and better leave one space for next January.
Now then, one more question.
Okay,
What time is it?
about past.
Thanks. We better be going. Thanks, Ole.
That's all right, McGee. Nothing is too good for the government, they seem to think.
Isn't this fun, McGee? Who's next on the list?
I don't know. But I wish it was Edgar Bergen.
Why?
I'd like to ask him if he feels lonesome since McCarthy's going to be a senator. Well, here we are, kiddo.
Yes,
Good morning, madame. I represent the...
we don't want any.
She don't want any, Molly. Let's try next door and... Hey, wait a minute. I ain't selling anything. I'm the census takers.
It's census taker. Try again.
I'll say I'll try again. Open up in there. I'm from the census. By George.
Oh, why didn't you say so? I didn't understand.
Neither did I. I'd like to talk to the head of the house. You married?
Well, yes, indeed I am. But you'll have to come back a little bit later. My husband is in Atlantic, Georgia.
Oh, the lucky man in the beautiful South. What's he doing there, madam?
Well, 20 years. Good day.
Well, the government has solved his housing problem.
If they convicted him of being a masher, they'd also solve the surplus potato problem. Who lives in the next house, McGee?
Fella named Crabtree. I know him from the Elks Club, but I'm skipping him.
Afraid he isn't home?
Afraid he is home. I owe him $10. Let's take this next one. Beautiful house. Must be millionaires.
Yes.
Good day, madame, or Bud, or in your case, it's Bud. I am the U.S. censor takers for this district.
Census taker, he means.
I regret to say, sir and madame, that the master, Mr. Wilkes Farthington, is unavailable for interruption at the moment. If you could return in about a fortnight.
Now raise the anchor, my little Joe. Ow!
What the?
As I was about to say, sire, if you could return at a more convenient time.
Convenient for who? This is convenient for us, Bud.
Quite. However, I'm afraid.
Now, one more star on the flag, Joe. Ow!
What on earth is going on in there?
Mr. Wilkes Farthington is being tattooed, madam. Good day.
Come back at a more convenient time. My clavicle. Getting paid by the name and make a dozen trips. That's the kind of stuff that gets under my skin.
Judging from the yelps, they're getting under Mr. Wilkinson Farmington's too. Try this place.
Good day, sir, or madame. I am...
Oh, yes, of course. I've been expecting you all day, Mr. Wilcox, because my housework is so...
Excuse me, madam. We are not Mr. Wilcox. I mean...
We're taking the United States Census, sis, and...
Oh, I wish I had more time to talk to you, but this big house keeps me so busy. And this Mr. Wilcox promised to come and show me how he can simplify it. And...
Well, he's just the lad that can do it too. Because when he shows you how Johnson's water-repellent glow coat can save you so much time and work, you'll be simply amazed.
You betcha. Now then, sis, my first question is about...
Johnson's water-repellent glow coat?
Yes.
No, my question is...
You see, madam, I'm a housewife myself, and I know what glow coat can do. You know those dingy, milky streaks you get on the linoleum when you mop it a few times? Well, that's a thing of the past. Well, because water-repellent glow coat stays on and stays bright, even after repeated damp moppings.
Now, my second question, sis, is...
How does it go on?
Well, at the rate we're going, sis, it'll go on all day, but...
She means the glow coat, McGee. Well, Mrs.
Corey, Mary Corey.
Well, we finally got some information. What was the first name?
Johnson's water-repellent glow coat.
No, I meant...
Quiet, dearie. Mrs. Corey and I are talking. You see, Mrs. Corey, glow coat is very easy to apply. You just pour a little out, spread it around, and let it dry. In 20 minutes or less, it gives your linoleum a lovely, glossy, protective wax coating that... Wait a minute! Here comes Mr. Wilcox now. He can tell you the rest of it yet. Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Molly. Hi, pal. Hello, Mrs. Corey. I'm sorry to be late, but the census taker was at my house and...
Look, Junior, I'm taking the census myself.
This will only take a minute, pal. I want to tell Mrs. Corey about...
This lady has already told me, Mr. Wilcox. It seems that one can of glow coat will cut my housework in half. So bring me 2 cans right away, because that will take care of all of my housework. And now I have the rest of the day to talk to you nice people. So do come in and sit down. Good day, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, this is a fine. I'm going downtown to look up the law on horse thieving. Somebody stole my plug. So long now.
Well, that was the best client I've had yet.
Yes, a very pleasant woman. How old did she say she was?
Can't tell you, kiddo. The manual says we ain't supposed to diverge any information accumulated in the course of duty. You should have listened.
Well, it was nice to talk to one citizen that made sense for his census. Now where do we go?
Right here. Hiya, bud.
How do you do?
I'm the census taker, bud. And this is me wife, Molly.
How do you do, I'm sure.
How are you, Mrs. Taker? Won't you come in?
Thanks, bud. But it ain't Mrs. Taker. It's Mrs. McGee. I'm taking the census.
Really? That's peculiar. I had a letter from one of my cousins in Idaho, and she claimed she was taking the census.
Oh, you got cousins in Idaho. Boise?
No, they're all girls.
Here's a new pencil, McGee. You'd better get busy now.
Now, you understand, bud, that this is the regular annual 10-year census. Okay, bud. Now, how about a few questions?
Good. I love this. Okay, first question. Can you quote Napoleon's farewell to his men after the Battle of Waterloo in 3 words?
We're supposed to ask the questions.
I'm sorry. That's 6 words, and you lose. The correct quotation is, "So long, fellas." Now my next question.
Hey.
Please, now we ask the questions.
Yeah. Now then, bud, your name, please?
Baker.
Your occupation?
No, that's my name. Baker. Axelrod P. Baker.
Well, what is your occupation, Baker?
Butcher. My father, Chauncey Baker, was also a butcher.
You mean that was her maiden name?
No, her maiden name was Binkstoffel, Emily Binkstoffel. That made her Emily Binkstoffel Baker Jr.
How do you spell that?
Junior. Now, do you want to ask some questions, Miss Taker?
McGee. Baker, not Miss Taker.
Not mistaker for whom, sir?
McGee.
Oh, I'd never mistake you for him. You're much prettier, and besides.
Oh, cut it out. Look, we ain't getting any place.
Well, you should have thought of that before you went into government work, sir. I realize it's a very safe job and gives you a certain security, but
Wait a minute, please. Mr. Butcher?
the lady's speaking to you, Mr. Butcher.
I'm not Butcher. I'm McGee. Your name is Butcher.
No, my name is Baker. You remember I said my mother, who was a Binkstoffel, married my father.
Never mind that. This isn't important.
It is to me, madam.
Oh, for the love of Mike.
No, Chauncey. Mike was my uncle. It was for the love of a girl named Marjorie Pincus.
Stop it, please.
Look, Buster, just let me ask a couple more simple questions, will you? Please? It ain't too much to ask, is it?
You go right ahead, sir. Questions in regards to what?
Education.
Very well. How far did you go in school?
Well, after me 3rd year in the 8th grade in Peoria,
McGee, you're supposed to ask him.
Oh, yeah. We'll skip the education. How much money did you make last year, Baker?
$2,500,000. But I had to burn it.
Burn it.
Yeah, I forgot to put a beard on Lincoln. You see, I had a little engraving plant back at my butcher shop, and
Come on, Molly, let's go. I'm marking this residence down as vacant. So long, bud. Well, we only got 2 more stops today, kiddo. Here's the first one.
Nice house. Who lives here?
Let me see. According to me notes, a fella named Harris. Philip Harris, band leader with a rich wife.
Well, ring the bell.
I did, but I didn't hear it ring.
Maybe it's out of order.
Maybe the door is unlocked. I'll peek in. Well, we better come back when he's feeling better, Molly. He's taking some medicine.
Well, one more house, dearie, and we can go home. How many people did you call on today?
Oh, according to me list, we knocked on 62 doors, kiddo.
Oh, a good day's work.
Yep, 62 houses, and the people were at home in all but 48 of them.
That leaves 14.
But not only that, 9 of the 14 answered me questions. 3 of them without even beefing. Not a bad day's work for me first day as censor takers.
It's census taker.
Right, censor takers. When I get going tomorrow, oh, look, kiddo, look who's coming across the street. Doc Gamble. Boy, oh boy, have I been waiting for this.
Oh, yes, that is the doctor, isn't it? I recognize the walk.
You said it. That guy's got a waddle like a pregnant moose. Look at him. He walks like a chapped duck. Hey, Fatso.
Hello there, Molly. Nice to see you.
Thank you, doctor.
Hello, Warthead.
Boy,
What's the briefcase in the leer for? You peddling Mississippi bubble stock? Or is that thing full of snake oil in case you run across a rusty snake?
you'll find out, boy. Oh, this is going to be fun. Hand me the blank, Molly.
He's working, doctor, for the United States government.
Him? How do I get my citizenship canceled?
Well, you'll be happy to know, Doctor, that I've just been appointed census taker for this district.
It's censor take us.
What?
No.
What? Oh, no.
Yep. You're looking at a duly qualified minor official, Buster. Prepare to have your census took.
Look, catch me later. I got some calls to make. People sick, might be in an operation.
Look at him squirm, kiddo. Look at him. Maybe I ought to read you the law about answering questions, Doctor.
Oh, now look, McGee,
On page 98, section 9, it says, and I cheerfully quote, any person who shall willfully refuse to answer shall be deemed guilty of...
All right, you double-crossing little snoop. Go on, ask me.
Oh, now, doctor, that's no way to act.
Well, why does he have to be the one?
We consider it me civic duty, Doctor. 'Tis not easy either. A job like this takes a lot out of a guy.
Yes, and you had so little to start with, too.
Just you relax, doctor. You know that any information you give him is confidential.
Certainly it is. And besides, it'll make a swell chapter for the book I'm writing about you, Ducky. It's called Inside Doc Gamble, or Boy, It's Dark in Here.
Get on with the questions.
Okay. Name, address. All right. How old are you, Doctor?
47.
You don't look 47.
No, and he ain't 47 anymore. He's 96 if he's a day. Come clean, Fatso.
Okay, make it 48.
That's better. Next question. How much money did you make last year?
$12,000.
12,000? Honestly?
Part of it, kiddo. Part of it. Say about $3 of it, honestly. Eh, Fatso?
Get on with the questions, nosy.
Okay, next question. Are those your own teeth, Doctor?
Certainly. I have the receipt for... Oh, no.
Boy, this is wonderful. Next question. Is it true that you were holding hands with a Miss Fifi Tremaine in the balcony in the Bijou Theater last night, and the usher had to come and...
McGee?
Okay. Have you ever been married, Doctor?
No.
Are you thinking of getting married?
Yes, I'm secretly engaged.
Yeah? Whom to?
Miss Tremaine.
Heavenly days, doctor. We didn't know that. Miss Tremaine, huh?
Boy, oh boy. Is that something for the gang at the Elks? Well, it's sure nice of you to give me all this dope about your private life, Docky. And I got news for you. You ain't in me census district. There'll be a guy around to take your census next week.
What?
Thanks, Pigeon.
You're welcome, Chiseler. And I have news for you, too.
What, doctor?
I know I'm not in his district. That's why I gave him all the wrong answers. So long, sucker.
What? Why, that double-crosser? Taking advantage of me faith in him to deliberately lie to me and...
Well, this has been quite a day, hasn't it? Very interesting work.
Sure has, Tootsie.
Now what do you do?
Well, first thing I do is check over me papers and look at the reference manual to see if I done everything right. Then I check with the crew chief and turn in the day's records. Hand me the manual, Tootsie. I want to look up me legal responsibilities.
Here you are. Legal responsibilities are on page 18, sections 57 and 58.
Page 18. Let me see. Not to be accompanied or assisted by unauthorized persons. Not permit anyone to accompany you, except duly authorized. Oh my gosh! Hand me the phone, quick! Then run up and pack our bags.
Here's the phone, but what on earth is the...
Can't talk now, kiddo. We're in a jam. Hello, operator. Give me the airport. Hello, airport. 2 reservations to South America on the first plane out. Hey, midnight?
McGee, what are you...
What say, sis? The names? Oh, Mr. Fosdick J. Allardyce and wife. What do you mean, how do I spell Allardyce? Make it Jones. Okay, we'll be there. Hey, Molly, get packed, quick. Shut off the gas and the water and the electric.
McGee, please, what are you talking about? What is this?
We're in trouble, Toots. That's what this is. Look at this census manual. By letting you go with me and read this confidential stuff, I'm liable to a $1,000 fine and 2 years into pokey. Now get your hat and make some jelly sandwiches. We'll mail in me resignation when we get to Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1950 census is underway. When the census taker calls on you, ask to see his card, invite him in, and answer his questions accurately.
A true picture of the size and condition of our country depends on true answers from all of us, and a true picture is of vital importance.
Remember that the information you give your census taker is completely confidential. By law, no other agency of the government can ever use it for taxation, investigation, immigration, or anything else.
And remember, too, that you won't find a census taker like McGee anywhere but in Wistful Vista.
I guess that's right, kiddo. I guess I just got a natural curiosity, huh?
Yes, you are.
Or what?
A natural curiosity.
Oh. Good night.
Good night, all.
Featured in today's cast were yours truly, Charles Davis, as Harlow Wilcox and the Butler, Charlie Pellissier as Fibber, Jan Schmidt as Molly, Howard Wishner as Old Timer, Judy Richards as Mrs. Mulk, Mike Stevens as Ole and the Voice, Judy Katz as Woman, Jane Utsumi as Lady, Bob Cuddy as Cliff, and Bob Jepson as Doc Gamble. Due to the current shelter in place, our recreation of this Fibber McGee and Molly episode was conducted remotely, where each cast member was located at their respective homes. This show was recorded and edited by Judy Katz and was directed by Howard Wishner. Howard Wishner also provided sound effects using sound recordings from freesfx.co census.uk, as well as portions from the original broadcast. Casting and script selection was provided by Maureen Wishner.